There are a lot of people out there asking how you get picked up by a media publication for concert photography. In this video, I'm going to show you the first key to doing that, and it's called self-promotion. Stay tuned. I'm Robert Maxfield. I'm a concert photographer in Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas, and this is Mac's Concert Photography, where we talk everything concert photography related. The first part of this video is pretty standard stuff. It's going to be what you should do portfolio-wise. But the last half of this video is going to be the important stuff, a lot of new stuff to a lot of people. And that's exactly how to go about finding the people you're looking for. So what is the most important part of being picked up by a media publication for concert photography? You're not going to believe this, but it's you. When it comes down to it, you need to be able to promote yourself. And how that works is by having, in musical terms, an electronic press kit for your own very self, just like a lot of the bands have. And there's some key components in that EPK that you need to know about. I know. A lot of people say, yeah, I got a portfolio, la, 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 la. But you should have, in my opinion, 3 different portfolios and 3 ways for people to access them, at least. The first thing is to have a dedicated to concert photography website. That doesn't mean having wedding photography, portrait headshots, this kind of photography, that kind of photography. This needs to most likely be dedicated concert photography only. This is the cover page for my website, and in general, most people that are coming to look at your website could care less about baby photography, wedding photography, your corporate headshots, what you do at the zoo. They want to see exactly what you're capable of doing in the concert music world. I use large photographs in the website pages so that people don't have to squint. They have no problem telling what the subject actually is or about. And this makes it easier for them to view and decide what they're looking at. So large photographs help me get the point across. So when deciding what to show in your website for your portfolio, show only your best work. And I mean the best work that you do. None of this fuzzy stuff. I see a lot of people on forums put 30, 40 pictures out there of the night that they shot at some cover band or some tribute band. No, show only the best. It only takes 4 or 5. The bigger the name, the person that you've been shooting, the better off you will be. Believe it or not, when people look at your portfolio, they may look at the first 3 or 4 photos only, and they made their decision whether to have you do the work for them or not. So the most, I guess if we use a better word, the most famous or the most notable person that you photographed and your best photograph of them goes a lot further away than showing 40 pictures of stuff that's just garbage. And there's a lot of that out there. Show your best work when you do it. The next basic things you need to have on that website are an about and a contact page and facts that tell something about you and you personally. Your experience, questions that people may ask of you, those things need to be thought of in advance and be out there so you can present them to people that are looking for you. The About page tells information about you and promotes you yourself. You can also have a Contact Me section on that page or one specifically by itself. I have a facts page that tells a little bit about my photographic experience, all the way from when I was starting out as a little kid to where I am now today. Publications are going to need a place to look and find information about you and see your work. So that's why a proper website is very, very important. It needs to be clean, to the point, and have all the information and examples right there. Portfolios are not just the first step to getting picked up by a media outlet. They are a very important part of it. I know we've gone through this kind of stuff before, but having your ducks in a row when you approach a media outlet is very important, because if you're not organized or you don't have your stuff together, that shows that the kind of quality of the work that you're going to present. So the next part of having your ducks in a row is to have a proper music only Instagram account and account site. Your Instagram should have your best work on it, just like your website, and it should allow people to be able to get in contact with you, see your work, and give them information as much as possible in that limited amount of space. With the Instagram account, I'm not really concerned that much about the number of subscribers I have as opposed to the quality of the subscribers I have, and the fact that I can draw people to the site and let them see my work. The site should also be as much about music photography as possible without anything else on it. The next portfolio you should have is the traditional hard copy, regular old hand it to them kind of portfolio. The reason for this is on occasion you will be asked to show your work in person, and it really is kind of crummy if you show them your Instagram on your cell phone. I mean, a lot of people do, but this gives them a better look at what people want to see. Now that you got some place to point people to that shows your work and the information about you, we need to talk about the starting point. The starting point could be as simple as going into Google and typing in music publications in Ohio or music publications in Texas. That will give you a starting point. Start familiarizing yourself with the music publications in your area. Not all of them will be things that you want to deal with. There's certain things you might not like, country music, or you might not like heavy rock, metal bands, or stuff like that. Some of them you'll sort through, and some of them you'll go through and you won't be interested in, but some you will. Make notes of the ones that you like, and then let's cross-reference them with Facebook. So once you got them down, go into Facebook and do a search for music publications in Ohio or music publications in Texas or wherever you're located, and see if you can come up with a cross-reference. This is exactly what I did when I started back up about 4 or 5 years ago. And one of the groups I found in Facebook was Texas Music Photographers. And I tried to join them, and I did, and I was successful. And the reason I was successful is I already had a pretty decent portfolio to show them, because that's what they required. I took a couple years and was out of state and was running a family business. And I moved back to Texas. And when I did, I had to start literally pretty much all over. Once you got in with a local music forum on Facebook, you're able to take and associate with people in your area. Just kind of a networking kind of thing, where if you do it on a global scale, which are some of the large forums on Facebook, it really doesn't do you any good, because there's not as many people there that are actually local or indigenous to your area. The admins of the Facebook forum said I could use the Facebook forum and the Facebook forum's name to approach bands. I could approach venues and management and use their name as a reference to shoot from. By using the Facebook forum's name and reference, I was able to meet people across the state, and eventually you start getting a reputation and start knowing people, and it helps out tremendously. I worked with the people at Texas Music Photographers on Facebook for a couple of years, and I still do some things for the forum every once in a while. But I started meeting people, and eventually I found a magazine in the area that had been in the middle of a rebirth, and it was starting a renaissance, if you will. They've been around since 1973, and it was kind of like the bucket list of things to go out and photograph for them. It was like, wow, I'd really like to do that. So I contacted them, and it took about 2, 3, 4 months, I guess, as far as, you know, hitting them up every once in a while, shooting them some pictures. People, eventually I think people knew who I was, and I had a little bit of a reputation, and that kind of helped. I was eventually contacted by the magazine, and I went through a online interview process with them. They asked me several questions: why I wanted to shoot for them, what I expected to receive for shooting for them, and then they wanted to see some of my work, and that broke the ice. Then I guess probably 2 or 3 weeks, maybe a month later, I got a phone call from the editor saying, "Hey, we'd like to know if you can shoot Bobby Sparks II down at the Dallas Art Company in Deep Ellum." And I guess it was like a Wednesday night, and I was going to shoot him on a Thursday night. And I told him, "Yeah, sure, I'd be glad to." So I got all my gear prepped up, and we met down at the Dallas Art Company down in Deep Ellum. And I got to shoot 18-time Grammy winner Bobby Sparks, and that was my introduction, or I guess one of my tests. After they viewed my photographs and met me and had me do the work in person and watched me do my work, I got invited to. That was the 1st of April, so I got invited to shoot the Dallas International Guitar Festival for them, which happens the first week of May. And at that point, I've been shooting for the magazine for the last 3 years. Prior to what I'm doing now, I'd been photographing for various newspapers as a freelancer or a stringer. I'd get a shot in here and a shot in there, but I guess for the last 2, 3 years, I've had multiple photos in the magazine. I've made 2 covers last year that I shot. I wrote 1 story. I'm getting ready to write more, and that's basically how I got in with the magazine I am with now. I've been in other magazines in the prior past, but not to the level in which I am now. So in the future, I'm going to cover some more keys on how to get picked up by a media publication. And if you found anything you liked in this video, man, please subscribe. We're getting there. It's really good. It helps us out. And, ring that bell. Stay up to date on all our videos. And we'd like to say thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week.